Good morning, everybody. It's Miss Trees. How are y'all doing today? It's Wednesday. You're on the half day mark. So let's get started. We are reading our story, Places We Go. So we talked a little bit yesterday about some different places that we go in the community. We talked about what a community is. It's a place where people live, work, and play. So that's like where you live, either if it's an apartment or a house. You live in a community that has schools, libraries, different places to shop, and they all provide services, which is another one of our vocabulary words. Services work that help people and others. Okay? So that's what services is, work that people do to help others. So who are some people that do services? Nurses, doctors, teachers, librarians. That's one of the ones we talked about was librarians. Talked about Miss Hawkins. Okay. School is a place in your community on page 102 and 103 in your book. Who is the best teacher ever? Miss Trees. Just kidding. Hopefully you think that. And of course, Miss Luker. Okay, then we got to page 106 and 107 in our book, and we started talking about the library. And the library being a place in your community where somebody helps you and serves you, and that's the librarian. Now we're on page 108 and 109, and they're showing you pictures of a library. And it looks a lot, there's a picture on page 109, and it looks like the librarian is reading a story to a group of children, and that's what Miss Hawkins always did in our library. She read to y'all stories that you enjoyed, and she did that every time we went to the library on Friday. Hopefully y'all have some books at your house or some magazines, or you can get on your parents' phone or your phone and you can pull up books to read by Googling different books. You could Google Dr. Seuss and it'll pull up different books by Dr. Seuss, and you can read those books on your phone. They're free, so you don't have to pay for them. Okay? Now, the next vocabulary word on page 108 is librarian is a person who's in charge of the library. Now, a librarian, she has to go to school just like a teacher. So she has to go to college just like a teacher does, and then she has to go another 2 years to get what's called a master's degree. So she has to go even longer than a teacher to be a librarian. So they have a lot of school to go to. Okay, now, top of page 108, above the picture of the gentleman, and it looks like he's checking out books. So it says, what if you need help at the library? No problem. You can ask a librarian to help you find books and other materials. The librarian also plans programs for the community. Some members take part in book clubs. They read the same books and get together to talk about them. Authors may come by to talk and sign the books they wrote. Libraries may also show movies and host parties. You remember when we watched a live video of the author reading the story to all of us? That was really cool. It's kind of what we're doing now with these videos. Okay? On page 109, have you ever been to the children's section of a library? Of course we have. It is where you will find books written just for kids. The children's section often has story time. The librarian or other guests will read books, picture books aloud to visitors. Many libraries also have summer reading programs. Kids sign up, read books, and win prizes. Hopefully when all this kind of stuff is over with and you get to go outside and you get to go to the library, you'll be able to go there and read books and sign up for their different clubs, and then you could win prizes too. All right, turning the page, we're moving on to talk about the grocery store. The grocery store is like an H-E-B or a Walmart, because Walmart has groceries now. So it depends on where your parents like to shop. If they like to shop at H-E-B or Walmart, or maybe a smaller type of grocery store. Supermarkets, remember we talked about what a supermarket is. A market is somewhere you go to buy groceries. That's a market. And a supermarket is a really big store that you go to buy groceries. And that's like an H-E-B or a Walmart. So under grocery store, there's a gentleman, and it looks like he's looking for some really good onions. It says, where do most people get the food they need? They go to the local grocery store. Large grocery stores are called supermarkets. So that's just kind of repeating what we already know. Okay, on page 111, there's a picture of, it looks like a mom and a daughter, and they're shopping, and they're going down the grocery aisle. I can't really tell what kind of groceries those are. It looks like maybe crackers and cookies. Ooh, that's a really good aisle to go down. It's where the crackers and cookies are. Okay, so let's read on page 111. People find what they need by searching the aisles in a market. Signs often show what is found in each aisle. Many people work in the grocery store. Trucks bring food and other items to the store. Workers unload boxes and stock the shelves. Cashiers work at the register. They scan items to tell people how much money they owe. Some workers put groceries in bags for shoppers. So that's something that you've probably seen when you go to the grocery store with your parents or your mom or dad. Or maybe you go with your grandmother or grandpa or aunt or uncle. You know that they take those groceries, they put them on that little conveyor belt that makes the groceries move along, and then the lady scans the groceries, and they usually do it real fast, and all the groceries go sliding down the thing, and then the man or girl takes the groceries and puts them in the bags and then stick them in your cart so you can take them home with you. Okay, so that's all you need to know about groceries. All right, hospital. On page 112, it has the definition of a hospital. I know you all know what a hospital is. A hospital is a place where doctors and nurses care for sick or injured people. So right now the hospitals are really popular because they're taking care of so many people all at once. Unfortunately, a lot of people are sick right now, but the hospitals are doing the best they can to make sure that the people are all okay. So on page 112, and it says, when people get sick or hurt, they may have to go to the hospital. It is open all day and night. Most hospitals are busy places with many workers. Doctors and nurses give patients medical care to help them get well. So you can go there anytime, day or night, and get the help you need. If you go to a hospital, your parents will sign you in. You will get an ID bracelet with your name on it. First, you will see a nurse, then a doctor will give you a checkup. So when you go into the hospital, you get an ID bracelet that they put around your wrist, and then that ID bracelet has your name on it and a number, and it'll make sure that everybody that's going to help you knows that you are the person on that ID. And then they will make sure that they take care of you and they know everything about you. Because you might be allergic to something, and they will need to know for sure what you're allergic to, because they don't want to give you any type of medicine that might make you sicker. Okay? On page 113, there's an ambulance in that picture going by. So it says, do you need medical care right away? You can go to the hospital's emergency room. That's where you go when you're really sick and need a lot of help really fast. An ambulance may be called to take you there quickly. When the lights and siren are on, cars must move out of the way. Emergency medical workers take care of you on the way to the hospital. So those emergency people that are in the ambulances, they usually drive a little faster than just regular cars. And so when they're going by or they're coming down the road and they have their lights and sirens on, your parents or whoever's driving in the car with you, they know to get out of the way so the ambulance can get to where it needs to go as fast as possible to help the people that call the ambulance to their house. Turn the page. Okay, more about the hospital. There's a picture of a girl and her mom, and there's a lady who brought her something to eat. A patient may need to stay overnight at the hospital. If that happens, the hospital is ready. Many rooms have beds for patients. They can watch TV and eat their meals in bed. If you have to stay overnight, you will not be alone. At most hospitals, a parent can stay with you. Friends and family can visit during the day. When my daughter got sick, I stayed with her in the hospital to make sure she was okay. And I'm sure if one of y'all got sick, then one of your parents would probably want to stay with you too and make sure that you were okay. That's kind of what parents do. They always make sure their kids are okay. All right, on page 115, it looks like a little poem, and it's talking about so many places. And this is the end of our story. So tomorrow, you're going to be doing some questions that go along with this nonfiction part that we've been reading. So it says, so many places. People have so many places to go for food and services. That makes life in the community much easier. Lucky you, you get to attend school and go to the library. When you get older, you can get a job. With the money you earn, you can open a bank account. You can also use the money to buy things you need, such as food and gas. So when you guys get older and you get a job and you make money, you'll live in a community and you'll have these places where you go and you spend your money to buy stuff. And you will be able to buy insurance and stuff like that to help you when you go to a hospital and they ask you, do you have insurance? And you would say yes. And then your insurance will pay for your stay at the hospital. Or if you don't have insurance, you can still get some help at the hospital. Okay? Now, there are some questions on page 116 and 117, but I don't want you to worry about those until tomorrow. I want you to get some rest. We had a good time reading this part of the book. And so if you want to look over the questions, we're going to be doing the graphic organizers on page 118 and 119. We'll do those together tomorrow. Okay? So don't worry about doing that today. We'll worry about doing that tomorrow. I know some of you will probably have to do them today because I know you and I know that you will want to get it out of the way. And you'll want to do it by yourself, but that's okay. But we're still going to do it together tomorrow. All right? If you have any questions, have your parents text me. I hope you'll be safe and healthy. I love you, and I'll see you soon.